Here is how you can make £5,000 profit reselling this winter. Now, winter season is the best time of year for reselling, and there's multiple reasons why. You've got stuff like Christmas, Black Friday, lots of sales, it's commercial season, people are spending more money. So ultimately, people are just spending more cash. They want to buy more items, they want to buy more brands. So it's really, really important as a reseller that you buy the right stock and kind of capitalize on this market. But picking the right items to resell can be really difficult. People would instantly think puffer jackets and jackets do really well. They do, but you've got to be careful what you buy. But although it is a really profitable season, you do need to spend money to make money. And this is where errors and mistakes can occur, and you could even end up losing money if you don't buy the right stock. And the worst thing you want to do is be sat on stock for months and months, and come the new year, January, February time, when no one has any money and they've all spent their cash, you don't want to be left with thousands of pounds worth of stock. So again, it is really, really important you buy the right items this winter, and that is what I'm going to tell you. So let's break it down item by item. What should you focus on this winter to make some profit? We're going to start with the obvious one, jackets and coats. Now, every year, probably middle of October, there's this massive trend and huge boom for demand in puffer jackets. And it doesn't really matter what your niche is, if it's vintage, streetwear, dead stock, personal shopping, whatever you're doing, the demand is going to go up across the board. So if you have the capacity and the money to do so, it is important that you stock some good puffer jackets. What brands should you focus on for puffer jackets? Well, let's take the North Face Nupsy, right, which is one of the most popular puffer jackets of all time. It now retails at £350. It's gone up like 100 quid in a couple of years with inflation and stuff like that. So people are opting for aftermarket and post-market resellers like me and you, people who have pre-owned ones, cheaper discounted ones. Now, how do you actually get North Face puffer jackets? To be honest, it's exactly the same way as you source any stock, to be brutally honest. Like you can use suppliers, you can source them individually, but overall as a brand, North Face really, really flies. And if you can find a way of getting these jackets, I really, really recommend it. You're going to see some serious profit. Now, something else to keep in mind when you're trying to buy puffer jackets to resell for profit is that you really need to monitor trends. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but what's trending on these is usually what's going to sell well on the post market. So for example, if we take some of these, the CP Company DD shell puffer, the iconic lens, the lovely paneling, the double D shell inside, sounds a little bit sus. This type of jacket is the prime example of kind of profiting off a trend. Some of these are reselling for like 500-600 quid, like, and these are actually being paid for, like it's crazy. So what I recommend doing, the CP Company double D shell is definitely the most popular and most profitable item out of all the CP Company puffers. There is its competitor brand, Stone Island, that is also very, very popular. Again, it kind of falls into the same realm as CP Company, both casual brands, are very popular amongst the football culture over here, as well as crossing into stuff like streetwear, designer, because they're kind of single branded jackets with the iconic CP Company lens and Stone Island badge. It often means they cross over into a lot of subcultures within fashion. Therefore, demand for stuff like this really, really is high. But what these type of jackets have in common is that they are absolutely popping on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So all the youngsters want one, driving the price up. And ultimately, these type of pieces, you don't need to have loads of them to see some benefit from them. All you need is one or two, maybe a couple of nice bits here and there. You've got to look at the bigger picture. These type of jackets, they bring in viewership and kind of hype to your business. So people will look at you and your company and your resale business, and they'll be like, shit, oh wow, he's got a CP Company jacket that's relatively rare and a Stone Island puffer that's quite hard to get hold of. Because these type of jackets are trending so hard on social media, it's really easy to get viewership from them. So if you buy them for a good price, you can make a little bit of money on them thanks to the trend. But ultimately, as a reseller, it's quite hard to make content sometimes. But it's really important you do, and stuff like this makes it really easy. So it's a bit of a cheat code, those type of jackets. So I really recommend if you have the budget. I would have paid about $350 for this. We'll probably sell it for about $450. It's mint condition. The CP Company double D shell, maybe pay between $250, $300. I'm not entirely sure. One of the boys would have bought it, and we'll sell it on for about maybe £100 on top, $350, $400. Now we do make a much bigger markup on these type of stuff purely because we market it well. We make good content out of it, loads of social promo from it, and that ultimately costs money as well. Like it costs a video editor fee and stuff like that. So it's not quite as simple as just selling it for £100 profit. Now I realize I'm waffling on a little bit, but other puffers that also are really easy to pick up at the moment, Supreme puffer jackets. I've got 3 of these. The Supreme all over pipeline jacket. I'm not entirely sure what it's called. I've just made it up on the spot. We've been buying these for about 100 quid each, and we sell them for not crazy money, 150 to 200, maybe a little bit more depending on the buyer, depending on the kind of drop we're doing. I would honestly try and sell most of these puffer jackets before like the end of January. People still have money to spend in January because they have some Christmas money, but it's usually a bit of a younger demographic. They don't typically like to spend like £400 or £500 on like these crazy jackets, but it still happens. Now, as well as puffers, items you should be focusing on this winter is kind of Christmas present-y stuff. And what I mean by that is usually not garments, it's typically accessories. So you're talking for us, I'll just tell you what does well for us. You've got bear bricks, hats, beanies, wallets, stuff like that. So a perfect example would be a Louis Vuitton bag like this, little satchel thing, more LV, Louis Vuitton purse, Louis Vuitton card holder, LV coin purse. This kind of stuff does really, really well this time of year. And in terms of why, these just make really good Christmas presents. People for Christmas also go for like iconic branding. So stuff like the Louis Vuitton monogram does really, really well. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, stuff like that. Sometimes pre-owned wallets and card holders and stuff like that can often be a lot cheaper than buying the actual apparel and the garments. It's also a lot easier because you don't need to worry about sizing, you don't need to worry about that kind of stuff. So people will just buy like a lot of accessories for Christmas. Something else that also does really well for us are something called mini bear bricks. So 100% bear bricks. They sell really, really well for us. They're kind of blind stocking fillers, if you like. These are great, right? Because you can buy them online for like, depending what version it is, they come in like these big ass boxes like these. Boom. They are completely random. They're blind boxes, the little mini bear brick mystery boxes. Let me open one up for you. I'll show you what it is like. And you can pick these up, stuff like this here, for about maybe like £10. They're definitely not going to make you loads of money. However, they're really good stocking fillers and they're cheap as well. Again, it's a branded item that is kind of cheap and it's kind of popular on social media. I make a lot of content about them. Lots of other creators make some content about bear bricks. The only thing you need to keep in mind about them is they're not like a North Face puffer jacket. If you're just starting out, I probably wouldn't focus on stuff like that. But again, just from my experience, what sells well for us, the mini bear bricks do really good. Staying on that kind of accessory hype, we do a lot of bags. They typically do well. Bape bags, tote bags. We have some Bape accessories as well. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. This is a Bapester keyring. Look at keyring, sorry, necklace. It's so sick, man. Oh my God, that's amazing. Beanies do really well. You can kind of pick, again, we focus on a few brands, stuff like Bape, Supreme, Stussy. Cortez beanies do relatively, actually really well for us on stuff like when we sell on Whatnot and places like that, which is a live streaming platform we sell on quite a lot. And you can buy all of these beanies up from places like Vinted. Now we do mostly buy all of them kind of in like September, October time. We have ran out now, so I do have to buy it again for November. And beanies have such a high turnover rate. What I would suggest with beanies is that I probably wouldn't go for like crazy designer ones. I wouldn't spend £80 on a beanie. Buy cheap beanies, 15, 20 quid max, maybe try like towards that 10 and 15 range, and then look to sell them for about £25. They're not going to make you a millionaire beanies, they're not going to make you loads of money. However, they are really good to get things ticking over, and it's usually quite a quick sale, which is really, really beneficial with beanies because it's the season and they kind of rotate quick, like they're in and out. And if you're making like kind of £8 per piece and you're selling like a couple a day, it adds up quite quick, man. It's a really nice way of getting a bit of cash flow going and getting those sales going. And especially if you're new, starting with beanies, cheat code, man. Really, really good, especially this time of year. So get on beanies, man, I'm telling you. Again, with the time of season, you got to focus on seasonal products. Hoodies and crew necks and jumpers sell really, really well. Hoodies and crew necks around November time, it's just crazy, man. Super upwards trajectory. I don't know if I can say that word properly. Now, it's a bit of a sticky conversation on what you should resell in terms of crew necks because every brand does crew necks. However, Bape and Stussy do quite well. There's a Stussy hoodie here. These are quite popular. They're pretty easy to get hold of. You can kind of pick these up for, if you go for a supplier route, you're probably paying £25. You can sell them for 50. If you're buying them on Depop and Vinted, you can buy them between 20 and 35 quid. Depending on the design and model of the Stussy hoodies especially, some of these can go for like £80. You can make some really good money on them. Stone Island crew necks, absolutely timeless. And then when you combine that with the kind of demand increase of crew necks and jumpers and hoodies at this time of year, really, really good sellers. Probably pick these up £50, £60, sell them for 80, 90. Not massive markups and not massive profit. However, really, really easy sellers, like super easy sellers, man. In terms of t-shirts and winter, you would typically imagine that t-shirts wouldn't do very well. However, as it's Christmas time, people look for good Christmas gifts that are often a little bit cheaper. We know Streetwear really well, so with t-shirts, we just stick, especially t-shirts in winter, we just stick to kind of streetwear-y bits. But so we just kind of focus on Stussy brand new with tag stuff at Christmas time. People don't need to go to Stussy to get them. They buy them from places like us, which are cheaper than like £60 retail. We sell them for like 35, 40 quid. Shoes. What to do with shoes? Are shoes any good for Christmas and winter items? Yeah. Shoes sell pretty good all year round. However, there is a bit of a cheat code in terms of what shoes you should be buying and what typically do well this time of year. And it kind of stays in line with everything I've already said. One of the biggest crack codes and cheat codes for Christmas and winter items for reselling are Uggs. You have like the Tasman Ugg, the chestnut Ugg thing. I don't really know. I'm not an Uggs guy, and I have never resold Uggs, okay? I've never done it. However, a lot of my friends who are a lot more kind of classic resellers, they sell a lot more brand new stuff than I do. We specialize in pre-owned. But what they live by, and they make, honestly, someone to make 10 grand this time of year profit on reselling Uggs. It's just mental, mate. Like, talking about Christmas presents, reselling, and then winter, Uggs are just like they're like Jesus, mate. They're like the second coming of Christ. Like, resellers love Uggs. Like, it's just crazy. Air Force Ones, really good at Christmas. Really good. Again, same with the Stussy tees, the brand new stuff. People are looking for discounted stuff. So often what happens throughout the year, people get Nike discount codes. People buy up Air Forces for a little bit cheaper. Honestly, if you're getting into reselling, buy up a few pre-owned Air Force Ones on like for £30 on Vinted and Depop, man. Sell them for 55 quid, clean them up. Bam, £20 profit. Now, finally, the last kind of cheat code for winter. You actually want to look at summer stock as well. I've been buying Supreme shorts for £25, £30 this week. Crazy. And you know why? Because it's cold. People have done with summer now. They're not going to wear their shorts. They want money for this time of year. Go and buy them for cheap, man. They're not as competitive because no one's buying shorts. Only really do this if you have money to save. You're not going to be able to make money on over Christmas time. But come May next year, you're doubling your money, man. So yeah, hopefully that will help, shaggers. Let me give a brief overview of what you should be focusing on and buying. North Face puffers, crack code, cheat code, bro, crazy. Get hold of them. Hoodies and crew necks, especially Stone Island and stuff like CP Company, really, really good. Hoodies and crew necks do well in your kind of desired category in your niche. So for example, if you sell designer, they'd be more popular in designer. If you sell vintage, this time of year, they'd be more popular in vintage as well. Can't really give you a price on what to buy and sell them at because it completely varies per brand. But again, it's a great time to buy hoodies and crew necks. Think Christmas presents, brand new t-shirts typically do well. Accessories, designer wallets, designer bags. Shoes, I would probably avoid massively designer shoes like Travis's and stuff, unless you're getting them for a really good price and you know what you're doing. You're particularly a shoe reseller. The lower end shoes do well. Beanies, cheat code, buy them for £10, £15, sell them for 20 to 25. And finally, if you have the budget, stock up on summer stock, shorts, caps. But again, that is not essential and you can think about that a bit later on in the year. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that has helped. I need to go because we have a big stream soon. I hope you've enjoyed The Office, by the way. And yeah, like, subscribe for more reselling content. Any questions, shoot down below in the comments. I'm always active. I'm always happy to help. Have a good one, people. And I'll see you in the next one.